tuned for sports.
Keeping Score with Jess and Dean.
It is Sunday, May 31st, the last day of May. Dean is in. He's smiling, which is a good sign for me. How you feeling there, friend?
Yeah, I don't have full extension on the left side. I still got a couple of stitches still left in there.
Yeah, your face is not beat up anymore.
No, I have another appointment Tuesday. It's just and I'm gonna ask questions.
Okay, yeah, you got it.
I'm gonna ask questions now. Seriously, I'm not gonna go in again, get butchered, and come out with no result.
Right.
If you can't give me the 100% probability that you can put the implant or the post in, we're gonna walk away from this.
We are gonna walk away from this.
You know?
But then I did talk to Mama G, and she says your teeth do move, but she feels as though you're old enough that they'll be all right.
All right, no, I'm glad you listen. I'm glad you got that. Listen, I'll take all the people
advice.
that have the experience. Absolutely, you got to take the whole scope in. I can't go through that again. Have my face mangled, sit on my couch for 11 days, and be miserable,
especially for your vacation,
and haven't accomplished anything. And we're still at square one. I can't do that again. But we turn the page. Vacation's over. Back tomorrow's June 1st already. I can't believe it.
AJ Brown Day.
AJ Brown Day. Weather permitting, I got 2 baseball games today. If it gets canceled, I got basketball 10 on Sunday, or I have 2 baseball games, so I'll be on the bump. Yes.
Question.
Yes.
I don't know if I like you playing basketball with your face. Like, what if somebody elbows you?
I didn't go last week, so the stitches are pretty much out. What am I going to do? Take a month off because I had a nothing's in there. It's not. They're not knocking a tooth out.
No, I know,
tooth.
but all right. I'm just saying, one hits your. It's not swollen anyway. It's a pinch swollen, and I'm just wondering if there's one elbow to the face, you could.
I thought about going last Sunday, and I said no, that wouldn't be a good idea.
No,
I was still kind
not.
of bloated, and and I was starting to feel better, and then the next.
And you were on drugs.
Yeah, so I ran out of drugs. I'm out of narcotics. So.
Oh, there's our clip. Anyway, so you're going to be proud of me. Hold on, I got to write that down. Went to the movies.
Okay.
So we took Friday off. That's why we were off on Pro
People
FM.
still go to the movies. I'm just saying, I used to love it back in the day.
Yes, I used to love it back in the day too, but there is a prime example that I'm going to give you on why it's just frustrating now, and I understand why people just want to stream it. Now, it was the Michael movie, the biopic, excellent, and I think that'd be right in your wheelhouse because it's off the wall, it's thriller, it's bad, right? So it's only up to 19, I think. 88, I want to say.
And the brief trailer I saw, me, Purity, he looked like MJ. So let's leave it there. I'm in.
Like MJ.
I'm in already. Look like him.
Unbelievable. Okay. The move's fantastic. Yeah. Highly recommend. The problem was, so we had Friday off. We're going to buy the tickets because we're very particular on where we want to sit. I like an end, and I like it in front of that big break, the pathway. So we go online, Jess buys them. You have to pay an extra fee or whatever to get them. So we go in. We get our popcorn, which you just press for yourself. You do everything yourself now. I don't even know if there's any employees working at movie theaters.
Really?
There's 2.5 people there. That's it.
Wow.
We go into the theater, and there are people in the seats that we reserved online. So we were walking there, and I'm like, there's only one seat left. So we looked at each other. Now, these were older people, not old 80s, but old enough that they could be in their mid 60s, and you'd be like, sorry, we reserved these seats. I don't think explaining that to them would have got. And they had their popcorn. They were laid back.
They were settled.
So then we look, and I'm like, well, now it wasn't a sold out show. So then we had to move to the front, and we were maybe 3 rows back. And obviously, it can still recline. And I know this is a first world prop, but why am I spending extra money to go to seats that I don't have that I reserved? Which reminds me of why make the reservation if they don't have the car?
Yeah.
Because I made the reservation for the tickets I wanted, and who's to say the seats that we were in, someone didn't book those. So if someone came up to me and said, you're sitting in my seats, and I'm like, well, they're sitting in your,
You know how to take the reservation, but the holding the reservation is the whole thing. By the way, is it say I'll equate it to baseball. If you go to Fenway, you have you have a staff member.
A ticket.
Well, but I'm saying, is there a staff member there that could say, okay, you're in the wrong seat, to the person that you're not?
There is no one you can find.
Then
I'm
it's
not
a flawed
saying
system.
go in.
Then you guys got rooked.
I'm not saying you can go to the movie theater right now and not pay and just walk in. That's pretty much how that's how no one's there. I wanted to have a drink at the bar. No one was working the bar. There was no one there. So I didn't think, and then I didn't want to make it embarrassing. So then I'm going to ask the attendant, I'm going to have these older people move. And then I was like, I don't know this system. So I did this whole thing on Pro FM, and people, they said, you should have just told them to move. And I'm like, I just didn't want to be that person. You know what? That'd be the one day I say, "Can you please move?" And they'd be like, "Are you Jess from Pro FM?" And I look like a ding dong.
And if it was filled,
and keeping score with Jess and Dean.
I mean, I can see if it was filled to capacity, but obviously you had other options seating wise. It does kill the buzz a little bit. I can picture the diminutive one being a little bit more upset than you would be.
No, I was more upset.
You were more upset.
Yeah, because it's like I like where I.
Okay.
That's what I picked it for.
That.
I picked it for a reason.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
There is no point.
So if people are just going to walk in and just take whatever they want, then why are we doing reserved seats?
I want that feedback, by the way.
Thank
See how
you.
I am? You know how I am? I'm sick.
I know, you drive right back to
listen,
Target.
I give the candy store away. I give, man. But don't burn me.
Right.
You got burnt a little. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I didn't like it either, but I did love the movie, and I do think it's worth you going to and not sitting in someone else's.
Okay. All right. So
But yeah,
the
that was
kid
the
who
whole
played
thing.
MJ, he's not a big name, obviously. I never
No.
saw him before, but he looked just like him. You know, the curly hair, the way he was in the
I'm
80s.
telling
He
you,
was
his voice,
right on point.
You literally think it's Michael Jackson. I'm
Yeah.
not kidding you. It was unbelievable.
That's
and I
important
think
to me. Yeah.
And just the moves he did, like his dance moves are fantastic. They were doing the filming of Beat It, and all the music.
You say it was a lot in the 80s. Did it trace back to his childhood at all? Like
it started when he was like 6 when they first started.
I mean,
the
that tells
Jackson
a lot
5.
of the story of how it all,
Joe Jackson,
unfolded.
something
Tough
else,
one.
man.
Yeah, tough one.
It gets you mad, and then you understand. So then you start feeling bad, but like obviously he makes decisions on his own, and that's what they're having. Michael too, obviously, which is going to be coming out. And as I was watching the movie, I'm like, God, I love him so much. But all those songs are like they're just stuck in your memory forever.
Yeah.
Like that's
Always.
like an impact on your life. And then I'm thinking like, oh, I can't believe like back in the day I was kind of scared of, like I thought it was a little weird. And then you look, there's a documentary coming out on Netflix on Wednesday, and it goes to the weirder part of Michael Jackson. So either way, I highly recommend it. Just don't buy the seats because you can just go in there and sit wherever the hell you want.
No, we're out on buying seats going forward, but we're in on the movie.
In on the movie 100%.
Okay.
All right.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. So the other thing we want to do it before we get into the show, because we really don't need to talk about Housewives of Rhode Island. We didn't do our review last week.
Yeah.
The most recent one, Liz and Alicia had a little bit of a disagreement about being homeless in the car to Boston. This was like,
we're 9 episodes in. We're still talking about the comment about homeless.
Yeah.
I get it. I get what Liz is saying. She's like, but you're beating a dead horse now with that one. It's
I
like,
agree.
and Alicia's taking it a little bit far. But I mean, it all depends on what your interpretation is of homeless.
Right.
I think Liz is trying to say, like, you weren't under the impasse on Wilbur Ave. I'm just saying, all right, you were in your grandfather's. You still had a home. And I get what Alicia's saying. Alicia's saying basically,
it's not my
we
house.
were kicked to the curb. It's not my house. So, tomato. I mean, enough now with it. They're beating a dead horse. And obviously it's working because it's getting ratings. I'm just saying they're getting numbers. So, but it was a little much to do about nothing to keep going back and forth. You got Joellen in the back seat. Look at me. I know the scene. You got Joellen in the back seat and she's trying to mediate. And all of a sudden she's the peacemaker when she starts half the trouble on the show. But it's all good. They're heading to, so I guess, what is it? Rosie's husband does he does sort of that Michael Sinatra. Duke, Sinatra thing.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, so that's I think the show tonight is gonna be good because now it goes from Alicia being upset with Liz, and then Liz being upset with Joellen, and there's gonna be some action tonight, and there's gonna be a place that I frequent that will be featured on the show that Becca said you cannot say what it is. So if you know me,
I'm not going to tip anybody's hand. I know you kind of have the apparel. I know you have a sweatshirt or two floating around somewhere. So obviously, off the air, I noticed that this had nothing to do with the show. But you know how like a lot of the posts and the Instagrams and the videos of stuff that comes out later, there's somebody that's kind of big in the industry of what we do. He was sort of involved in the whole thing about the coach and the so that was sort of a story. And of course, Rosie still contests to this day. I've never met Judas, as I call him. Yeah. And I think that's a crock. Don't tell me you never met him. I don't know about that one.
Well, did you see the whole thing with Dave Portnoy?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, and now in Portnoy sort of, even though I guess he stirred the pot to start it, but then he defended it and said, I don't think it was Ed Cooley, but it was another staff member.
Yeah.
So somebody on his staff.
Right.
So it could be someone that's a Georgetown assistant right now because he took all his coaches with him. Where there's smoke, there's fire. She probably did something. She's definitely not telling the whole truth, but maybe it wasn't Judas. But
no, I know. So that kind of changes the whole thing. I thought it was more scandalous with her.
I heard rumors about that before I knew who Rosie was. What was? Right. Ed Cooley was having an indiscretion with someone that works for Channel 10 at the time.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what she did at the time. So interesting stuff that comes out after the fact. But we take it all in. We take the whole scope of it in. There was a dinner for 4 somewhere else. I know there's going to be in a different place this week, as you just said, but they were at Cersei and Cranston, I believe.
There was 6 of them, yeah.
Was it 6 of them? I thought there was only
Joe,
4
Ellen,
of them.
Liz, and Kelsey, and Billy.
Right. It was a table. It's a party of 6. That's right. Yeah. There was a lot of muddling going on.
Yeah, but see, did Liz say she wanted the lemons muddled? Because that's the drink I'm having lately. I'm doing the gin with pomegranate, soda water, and lemons, but I'm just squeezing the lemon in. I'm not muddling anything.
All I know is Jerry, who I love to death. You know, I told you, went to school, and he pointed back and said the bartender knows. That's just telling you. I've seen that move before.
That fly with
and I feel like I'm just saying, the servers come up with rage when they say to me, Dean, I don't know, this guy. I can't see table 6. It's not in my purview. I'm not leaving the bar to walk into the dining room and say, oh yeah, you know, Tony likes his drink this way.
Right.
They need to just tell you what the drink is.
Yes, well, maybe science. I mean, you know them. You can.
But that's their comfort zone. The people, the regulars, they get comfortable, and then before you know it, the inmates are running the asylum. It's difficult. It's challenging. I'm just telling you.
Okay. So anyway, is there anything you want?
We're off and running.
Yeah, we are. So let me check. All right, your vacation, the movies, Seinfeld reference, Housewives. I think we're good to start.
Yeah, because I got some nice entertainment at the end of the show about some shows that I binge, and we can get into that. You said you got a show too, so we got some time for that at the end. Maybe we'll trickle in some sports in between. How about that?
We'll see what we can do. Let's start it off though. All right, so NFL, obviously, Mike Vrabel, they had the press conference. I think it was on Wednesday at 11:30. I think that was the date. Just like people getting caught up with what's happening with the team. Obviously, he didn't release any information about A.J. Brown, but the way people are talking is like it's a done deal. He's number 11. He's A.J. Brown, and he's coming to the Patriots. And we're going to find out tomorrow, I guess.
I mean, a lot of the people that we trust for information, you know, it's like Mike Reese in New England's the guy. He works for ESPN and, you know, used to be a writer for the Herald or the Globe. Mm-hmm. I trust what he says. But the big guys on the national stage, even though Reese is national, you got guys like Ian Rappaport. You've got, what's the other guy that works for ESPN? He's the big name. His name's Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter. So I guess one of them, Rappaport said Schefter said it's a done deal. Rappaport saying like not so quick here because there's some stipulations. Maybe the Patriots are holding out. They don't want to give. I know the Patriots don't want to give a first round pick at all.
Right.
They're trying to get away with it, but it looks like this is supposed to happen here. But the question is it going to be a 27 first round pick or a 28 first round pick? I guess the draft is, better next year than it is the following year. So they're trying to so Patriots trying to get away with something here to try to get a shot. I love when they say they're still dotting the I's, crossing the. Well, wait a minute. Like this has been, we've heard about this. This is going to happen for 4 months. Yeah. So don't tell me now that June 1st is going to be tomorrow.
Right.
That it's not a done. Let's go.
I know.
It shouldn't take any. What is the holdup?
Lawyers.
Well, Howie Roseman, I believe, is his name. He's the terrific GM for Philadelphia. He always seems to be the guy that gets over on you. So maybe there's something going on there. Maybe that's why he's usually successful. I don't know what the holdup is here, but this has to happen for the Patriots because offensively they're going to be challenged. They're talking about moving Booty. They got to get Brown before they can do anything there. That wide receiver room still needs a lot of help.
Yeah. Drake May was talking on the thing. It wasn't like he was saying that they know that, it's confirmed deal, but in his so many words, it would be like, wow, that'd be definitely great to have someone like that on the team to build up the roster, obviously.
And by the way, for anybody out there that doesn't know the whole story as far as why we have to wait till June 1st is because it's for Philadelphia's purposes. The Patriots are sort of waiting it out for Philadelphia because they have an issue with the dead money in the contract. It's all contractual.
Is it $7 million?
It would be a $7 million difference. Philly would save, a good amount of money. I mean, he makes like 28 or 20. He makes high 20s. So it's $7 million when you're talking about salary cap and saving money. So the Patriots said, all right, we'll wait till June 1. Let's get this thing going. So I would just say if we come on next week and he's not a Patriot, then something's off. And if he obviously could end up on another team, someone jumps in there. Because, you're always leveraging against someone else. They could easily call Elliott Wolf and say, Roseman could call Elliott Wolf and say, I got a deal from the Rams. They're going to give, even it could be BS, but, you can leverage it and try to get it to up the prices. Don't forget. There's also discussions about flipping draft picks as far as once you get into the middle round, you'll give a 4th for a 6th and they play all those little games. Those seems to be little things that you do. The main play here is Patriots going to have to give up either a 1 or a 2 to get this player. So,
and I think Mike Vrabel wants him, and he gets what he wants.
No doubt about it. Was that a dig?
Yeah, it was. But that's what I'm going to do, because I'm just going to have to move on until we hear from Rossini. So he was very good in the press conference. He was, ball busting. It was fine. So you just felt
ball busting in the sense that like he's making light of it, like it's no big deal.
No, it wasn't brought up, but he was back to his like self when talking.
Because I haven't been following a lot of like the statements made, but I know he made a comment as if like, well, I'm here today.
Yeah, because
what does that mean? You could be gone tomorrow. I mean, we all could be. We're all day to day in life, but like you're trying to say like this thing could still take a turn and you walk away. I don't. Well,
I'd rather him say that than to promise, say I'm going to be here every day, and then for something happens. Who knows? Because maybe he.
My term for almost 4 years now. We're coming up on 4 years, and it's always win games. And he won a lot of games. Yeah. So I know he didn't win the last game, but he won a lot of games. And they were talking about the other night, like he has changed the culture in New England. You look at people over the course of our lifetimes, Jess. I'll always say everyone's going to say Belichick, number one. It really wasn't. Parcells changed the culture in New England when he took over in '94, '93. Mm-hmm. So and of course Bill took it home after that, Bill Belichick. And now of course Vrabel, I consider Vrabel one of the top, 3 of all time in Patriot law, even though Raymond Berry took him to the Super Bowl in '86, but it's those 3 guys, and Vrabel's done it in such a short amount of time.
So my other question to you is, we don't see Gonzalez on the field at all. I know he's up for his payday, right? That's the real contract. Are you concerned about that at all? You are concerned.
Yeah, because I mean,
why are they busting his chops? Sign him. He was the only one that played last year, and then the only one in the Super Bowl that showed up.
That's why I've tried to tell you before. I feel like this is not just a Patriot thing. I feel like it's all the major New England teams. They're always trying to find a way to get out.
Why are you cheap? Pay for what you get.
Yes, I mean, he's shut down corner. He gets it done. You know what you're getting there. Just pay the guy. If you have to overpay him a little bit, I mean, there's got to be a line in the sand too. I mean, if this he sounds like someone who just he wants to squeeze every dime out. Like Revis did that when he was a shutdown corner with the Jets, and he came to the Patriots later. But then went back to the Jets, got another payday, and was done.
Right.
You got to get everything you can. I get that, but there does have to be a limit. He's a $30 million cornerback. He may be a $35 million, but I mean, he's not. No one's getting 50 to play that position either. So there's got to be a.
Do we know what he's asking for or no?
It's definitely more than what they're offering. We know that. Yeah. So it's definitely
anything would be more than they're offering.
Well, I think the Pats have to be realistic. You're throwing out an amount that he's going to refuse. If they're giving in the upwards of say low 30s, I think that they've at least gone there. And that's probably in his eyes not going to get it done. So yeah, he's probably looking for more. Obviously times 5, he's going to want a 5-year deal at least.
Yeah.
So 5 times. Probably wants 5 times 40, and I don't know. Some of the other cornerbacks around the league, there's some high paid guys. They're not. No, I don't think anybody got 40 yet. Sauce Gardner's high paid.
And then they traded him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's on the Colts now. Kid for Denver's high paid. Names are eluding me now. I don't know why. I'm just forgetting names. But that's a listen. Quarterback, cornerback. Left tackle. I'm talking about premium position you pay, and wide receiver you pay.
Right. So I would think So I don't understand what the problem is.
I feel like you're not gonna. I feel like you and I, the Patriots are gonna start up September. He's not gonna get that. They picked up the option on the 5th year to make sure that they got him locked in. He would technically have to play 2 more years for the Pats.
Okay.
And if they don't have him signed long term past that, he might play it out, but he would walk. He'd say, obviously, if he played his 5 years out, no way he'd re-sign with New England at that point. I know you're playing a cat-mouse game with a guy who's that good.
It's so discouraging, though, because this is your brand. This is what you believe in, but you can't be loyal. No one's loyal to each other. It's all about money.
They picked a cornerback in the 4th or 5th round, so that tells me that they went later. If they had gotten a cornerback with their first pick, then I'm saying they're already moving on from Gonzalez because they don't want to pay him, so they know they're going to have to move him.
Right.
So you'd have the next guy, but you're not going to get that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? That position's
it
just
doesn't make a difference. You could be like Will Campbell. You're like, number 4, and then you're going to be moving that guy.
He's that good, Jess. And if I remember last year, as you and I were doing our football previews during the summer, during camp, and I was saying you were like, all right, enough now. This kid needs to be on the field. If he wants to be the guy and get them, and he pretty much was on the field. Yep. He did have a propensity to get hurt a little bit. He missed some time. Remember, he was
also in practice.
Okay, yeah. So
maybe it's better that he's not practicing.
But he missed a couple of games early in the year, and it was all right, this kid's got to prove he can play at least 15 out of 17 every year if he wants to. He had an injury. I think it was his 2nd year where he hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
He missed the rest of the season. That was the disaster year. He got hurt in Dallas when they got rolled, and I ended up at Target in the 2nd quarter. But I'm just saying, this is the guy. You pay him. He's an elite. You're not going to get an argument from me. You take the money that you've got under the salary cap. You give it to May, and you give it to Gonzalez. You have to know you got to have a nest for those 2 guys.
Is it ridiculous to say that they'll play these same games with Drake May? when it comes up for his contract.
I've said to you, and I've said to anybody who follows football and loves the game, I said, I just can't see. I'm not saying they would move on from him. I can't see,
they didn't pay Tom Brady.
You know them. I know. That's why I'm saying I can't see $60 million. I can't see Bob Kraft cutting that kind of check to anybody. I just don't see it. That could they lose Drake May? That one we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. There's another year. Yeah. You don't start talking about that. He's going into his third year. We're pretty close, you see, and usually you see the quarterback, what they do in their third year is usually what they end up being sometimes.
Yeah, consistent.
So that third year, we're going to find out this year. Tougher schedule, but I'm still excited. A lot of people believe that A.J. Brown trade goes down tomorrow, hopefully, that this is still a contender, even though it's going to be a difficult schedule.
Would you buy an A.J. Brown jersey?
No.
Okay.
No,
because
no
it's
shot.
like it's a short term. It's like a Diggs deal.
Yeah, because they sign these contracts, they get the signing bonus, and they're going in 2 years. Drake May, it's going to be probably a 5-6 year deal. He wears number 10. He's the quarterback. That would be the only jersey. I think my jersey days are over.
Yeah,
I'd go bobbleheads and stuff like that, and maybe other apparel, different kinds of stuff.
Oh,
not
yeah,
jerseys.
well, yeah, that's a bigger investment.
Stuff. Yeah, but May would be my play for a jersey, and I'm wondering if Brown wears 11 if he comes over. I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse. He hasn't got here yet. Yeah. Edelman wore 11. Obviously, Drew Bledsoe back in the day wore 11 as the quarterback. I don't believe there's an 11 on the roster right now.
Right. So I wouldn't mind that. That's a decent number.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in the NFL you want to talk about before we thank our sponsors?
No, I think that's it. We know Rodgers came back to Pittsburgh last week. We heard about that. So it's kind of quiet out there right now.
Would they do, didn't they do that in baseball when you retire, like each field or stadium they would go to, they gave you a gift or something? Is that like, did they do that with Big Papi?
They don't do that often in football. It seems like they do it in other sports. Like, like if LeBron decides, next year, this is it. Like he get probably every time he goes to the arena, the old days in the 80s, it was more, apparent, like Bird and Magic had the rivalry and Bird retired, they give up, or when Julius Erving retired, Bird gave Dr. J a piece of the parquet, the floor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got a chair when he came to, the last game against the Celtics.
Chair?
Yeah, something like that. A rocking chair. So you see it more in those sports, baseball sometimes, but you don't see it a lot in football.
Okay, I was just wondering.
And I don't think
a cane maybe.
I don't think a lot of people
wife?
love Rodgers. Maybe like they give him like a little booth or something so he can meditate. Maybe a meditation booth or something. I don't know.
Why don't they just give him a jail cell? He's just as effective in that with the sauna. All right, we're gonna thank our sponsors and come back with the NBA.
790 The Score, your best bet for sports.
The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. 10,000 skilled craftsmen and women. Together with our contractors, we spend approximately $6 million per year training our membership in state-of-the-art construction technologies to ensure a stable, safe, and productive workforce, delivering projects on time and on or under budget with the finest craftsmanship in the industry. The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. We build Rhode Island.
Celebrating 25 years, Build RI members have been directly involved in constructing over 110 local, all-union, large-scale commercial construction projects worth more than $10 billion, promoting local economic development initiatives in order to create business opportunities for local businesses and work opportunities for local skilled craftsmen and women in a competitive environment that is level and fair. With career opportunities developed through apprenticeship training programs, the focus is geared towards making their craftsmen and women the most highly skilled in the construction industry. To find out more, visit buildri.org. No one wants to be involved in an accident, but if there is an occurrence, the best place to take your vehicle is Northeast Auto Body in Johnston. They have a state-of-the-art collision and service center complete with the latest in mechanical and collision repair. But they're a business that handles more than just body work. They provide services such as vehicle inspections, mechanical work, rentals, paintless dent removal, 24-hour towing, and more. Northeast Auto Body, serving New England for over 20 years. Get it done right the first time. Northeast Auto Body, 775 Hartford Ave in Johnston, and at neautobody.com. Now, I know I mentioned it last week, but I really do feel like the finals was between the Spurs and OKC. Talk about, the last Game 6 was a little, it was out of OKC's hand when in the fourth quarter, at 8 minutes left, they took everybody out. But, the entertainment and Wembanyama, man, this guy is just, the future, he's going to be, he's going to be the guy.
They're set up, and they got some nice pieces around them. I like the kid Dylan Hopper, the kid out of Rutgers, a nice player, nice compliment to De'Aaron Fox, who's the starting point guard, but he's been banged up. but they got their compliment. OKC, Jalen Williams has been in and out with that hamstring injury. They got to make a decision there, like play him or don't play him, because it seems like he's in there and it's affecting the flow because he's not 100%. Caruso's been great off the bench. Those are two great teams, but we can't discount what the Knicks did in the East. Okay,
No,
I know that they wiped the floor with the Cavs. Cavs were brutal. And by the way, Kenny Atkinson, the head coach.
Oh my God!
All right, like don't
they swept them?
Don't go in an interview and say analytically we're winning the series. You guys got rolled by 40. Okay, I don't know how he kept his job just for saying that. He's getting canned. He's like, analytically we're winning. You lost by 40. Harden looks like he's 70 out there. I don't even know what they're doing. Donovan Mitchell looks like he hasn't put the fork down either. Both guys are going to eat their way out of the league. I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, that series was brutal. That last game at home, they're getting beat up and down the court.
They're eating Chinese food as
Harden's ordering takeout on the bench.
But it's true though. For him to say analytic, what is in your brain?
No, that was
They're
brutal.
like, you're down 3-0.
Yeah, Harden said we're the better team. It was awful.
I don't get
But
it.
on the other side, the Knicks took care of business, and of course,
Oh, my
Mitchell
God.
Robinson got hurt in practice. The backup center, who gives them a lot of energy, can't shoot free throws, but he had surgery. But he is going to play through this. He'll have a little splint on. Anunoby's coming back healthy. He looks good. Bridges, they're coming together. Towns, Brunson. How do I'm, you know me, I had a hard time rooting for New York teams, but I really like what they're doing. And I don't hate the Knicks. I just, everyone's starving for a winner in New York.
Yeah.
You see all the stars at the games.
People are going to die though if they do.
No, really? All right, Ben Stiller. We get it. You want the Knicks to win. We got it,
You know what?
Ben.
I don't mind Timothy Chalamet. I think people I know who've met Ben Stiller say he's not a nice guy, so I don't want him to win it.
All right. We're out
And
on
Spike
Stiller.
Lee, good for him. He'll probably end up like
And I can't.
tattooing Knicks to his forehead.
I can't wait to make a comparison or some correlation to like a Law and Order. But did you see after one of the games of Mariska Hargitay? She hugged Jalen Brunson on the court.
Yes, I like him a lot.
Yeah. Brunson's a player.
Yeah.
And let's face it. That I would have never thought. I mean, I've been wrong. I followed so much Big East basketball over the years. When Jay Wright was at Villanova, and he took those three kids,
guys.
Josh Hart, Bridges, and Brunson. Nice players, not superstars, not guys that I thought were going to go to the next level and do what they're doing. And here they are, the three of them together. They won national championship together in college.
Poor DiVincenzo.
Yeah, Dante, he's in Minnesota rehabbing right now. But this team is ready. I think it's going to be a great series, and I would not be surprised if the Knicks pulled it, even though I still think the title is going to come out west.
All right, very good. Is there anything? Hey, have you been watching any WNBA? Because I was, what did I have on there? Was it the Connecticut Suns this week? I can't remember. But all I am going to say is the refs are getting a little bit better, a little less physical.
Yeah.
But these games, I mean, I enjoy watching them. And then I'm told, can we watch something else? But for the most part, the movement, it's a fast paced thing. And I'm really liking how the WNBA is showing up and that they're on TV more often.
Yeah, I come home, like I said, it's USA like on a Wednesday night at like a late game at 10 o'clock. And I'm invested in it. I like it. What I will say is I'm glad you brought it up, is that I guess the league, no, not the league, like people, fans, obviously, were a little upset that Caitlin was scratched one night. Now, maybe listen, obviously she probably tried to play, but she had an injury like at the last second where like she wasn't on the injury report, so everyone thought she was playing. You go to the game for her, you want to see her, and she didn't play.
Sophie Cunningham is a great.
No,
player.
she's great, but it's Caitlin. Let's start. Let's call it what it is now. I mean, it's Caitlin or bust.
I mean, yeah.
And she got scratched a week ago for a game
She
where everyone thought she was going to play, and she didn't. So another DNP. She had a real hard time staying healthy. I'm just telling you, it's just been difficult for her to stay on the court. But I think even what she did in a short time coming from college, from Iowa to the league, she put that league on her back and pretty much saved it because they were hemorrhaging money. They're pretty successful right now.
Well, in the 4 years that we've been doing the show, it's not like we were talking about the WNBA before last year, right?
Yeah, right.
So I mean, since she's been in the league, obviously we've been covering that. Is there anything else in the NBA? Oh wait, hello, Joe Mazzulla is Coach of the Year, and I'm sure he's thrilled after calling it whatever a stupid award.
Yeah, I think he backpedaled a little bit on that one. Obviously, he deflected. My assistants and all that. But of course, 56 wins. The 37-year-old, I think on June 30th, he will turn 38. Still 37 years old.
That's crazy.
I know a couple of postseason failures and early exits, but a 238-90 record in 4 years with the Celtics, and not many Celtics coaches over the course of this storied history have won Coach of the Year. I believe it was Red Auerbach, who back in the day was winning titles every year. Like it was nothing.
Smoking cigars on the court.
Tommy Heinsohn won it, and there was one other coach that won it. So it's not an award that goes out that often to Boston. Maybe because they were so good every year. Usually it goes to the underdog teams. Yes.
Is it a jinx?
No. What, to win the award? No, like for what?
Haven't Coach of the Year? Haven't they the next year they've been fired? Hasn't there been multiple?
Oh, you mean for him to get canned? Well, now he's on notice as far as if he doesn't change his style a little bit and play to another one. Every three is a good three. It's like if we're gonna do that, we'll bring Marcus Smart back if that's the case. It's pretty bad. But
he probably really got along with Marcus Smart. I feel like they have the same mentality which is just like fight people.
Yeah. Where does that get you?
Nowhere, but I mean he's still he's still playing.
Smart's been on 4 rosters since then, but okay.
But I mean, I was very happy that, obviously, congratulations. I know he doesn't really care, but it's still, I still have a bad taste in my mouth because they suck so bad in the postseason. And I know it was just for regular season and why he won it.
Yeah.
But it's just it stood out so how terrible they were in the playoffs.
I mean, 56 wins with that roster this year with Gaza and Shireman and Walsh and Ugo. But no, that's what I always equate to you when we talk baseball. I'm the baseball guy. How many times do I tell you every year? Judge goes up to the podium and gets the MVP for the league. It's what he did for 162. And you're sitting there and I'm asking you, I'm like, how do you feel about it? And you're sitting there like, oh, they just gagged again in the postseason. Well, it has nothing to do with the postseason. But it's hard for you to get excited about these awards, these accolades. I always tell you those awards are nice when you win.
Yeah.
When your team wins it all,
everything feels
now
good.
It's nice. Like Ohtani goes to the Dodgers, he gets the MVP of the league. Yeah, but they won the World Series. It's just nicer to talk about when you actually win. Now you're not going to win a championship every year, but an exit in the first round is a tough pill to swallow. Joe will be back next year and hopefully get things together. And you have a full season of Tatum. Hopefully Tatum and Brown still together. We'll see how the offseason goes.
They go out in the first round next season, and he's gone.
He could be gone.
All right. Well, what should we do here? Actually, let's go right to NHL. Oh, that's not NHL. There it is. The Vegas Knights, man. They just get it done. I like their logo. I like their venue. I like their PA announcer.
Okay. Yep.
I'm on board. I want the
Dave
Knights.
Gosha, we had him on the show. He's the play-by-play guy for Vegas.
He was golfing the other day. He posted on Instagram.
Oh, really?
I'm like, how funny is this? We were just talking about it.
It's a great story. And of course, I always talk about John Tortorella. He's coached like 22 teams of the 30 in the league. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he's coached at least 7. And he's the guy that kind of it wears thin real quick, but he puts things together on the fly. I mean, Bruce Cassidy was gassed with maybe 15 games to go.
I know.
And this guy's got them in the finals, and they're clicking. So I love their chances out west. Obviously, now they're in the NHL finals. Of course, in the Eastern Conference, you have Carolina. They're up 3 as we do the show. They're up 3-1 on Montreal right now. So I like Carolina's chances. They've been good in the postseason. That was a team the Bruins didn't match up well with. So Carolina and Vegas looks like the finals right now. Without jumping the gun a little bit.
All right. So then I'm going to thank our sponsors, and now we're going to go to baseball after that. How about? Unless you had anything else you wanted to add?
No, if I do, it's going to be a little bit upsetting, but I guess our job is to report a little bit of the news. RIP, and of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Claude Lemieux. He was not Mario Lemieux, no relation. 21-year vet. He passed away by suicide the other day, and it was crazy because he obviously 60 years old. His son found him, unfortunately, and the crazy thing is he was at one of the Montreal Carolina games doing some type of a torch thing, like he was holding like a torch before a game. He was at game 3, I think.
Right.
That was a week ago, and he was found. Obviously passed away, died by suicide. Terrible thing.
Was there any CTE?
Well, all I can tell you is
speculation?
He was one of those guys that was leading the league in penalty minutes for a long time. So he mixed it up. He played for 21 years. Played a long career.
And that's what a sport.
It's funny you say that while we're still on hockey. Lyndon Byers, who used to be on a rival station for years, WEI up in Boston for years, he played for the Bruins. Another guy, an enforcer. Funny guy, though. Good on the radio. Good personality. He passed away about a year ago. Did a lot of stuff in the community with charities and stuff. Really good guy. On the ice, forget it, he'll cut your heart out. But off the ice, real good guy. Anyways, they just found out today or earlier in the week that he had CTE. They found out later on that there's a lot of, that's probably resulted in his passing.
Yeah.
They didn't know what the cause of death was at the time, but that's a physical sport. But it's just sad to see that Lemieux looked like he was fine a week ago, and now he's gone at the age of 60. And I feel bad. He had a wife and I think 4 kids.
Oh my goodness! It kind of reminds me. Doesn't Junior Seau? Didn't he make an appearance and then a week later it was something like that? Oh, that's so sad.
It's very, very sad.
Yeah.
Belichick loved Seau.
Yeah, I know.
He used to call him off the couch mid-season, come help us. He didn't play a full year.
Yep.
He's coming home. I mean, he was past his prime at the time, but he was like another coach on the field.
Yeah.
His great years with the Chargers, and he took his own life. Very, very sad for it to get to that point with someone. We never know what somebody's going through.
No, definitely not. All right. With that being said, we're going to thank our sponsors and come back with, your Red Sox. Sorry.
790 The Score, your best bet for sports.
The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. 10,000 skilled craftsmen and women. Together with our contractors, we spend approximately $6 million per year training our membership in state-of-the-art construction technologies to ensure a stable, safe, and productive workforce, delivering projects on time and on or under budget with the finest craftsmanship in the industry. The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. We build Rhode Island.
Celebrating 25 years, Build RI members have been directly involved in constructing over 110 local, all-union, large-scale commercial construction projects worth more than $10 billion, promoting local economic development initiatives in order to create business opportunities for local businesses and work opportunities for local skilled craftsmen and women in a competitive environment that is level and fair. With career opportunities developed through apprenticeship training programs, the focus is geared towards making their craftsmen and women the most highly skilled in the construction industry. To find out more, visit buildri.org. No one wants to be involved in an accident, but if there is an occurrence, the best place to take your vehicle is Northeast Auto Body in Johnston. They have a state-of-the-art collision and service center complete with the latest in mechanical and collision repair. But they're a business that handles more than just body work. They provide services such as vehicle inspections, mechanical work, rentals, paintless dent removal, 24-hour towing, and more. Northeast Auto Body, serving New England for over 20 years. Get it done right the first time. Northeast Auto Body, 775 Hartford Ave in Johnston, and at neautobody.com. All right. It's time to cover the MLB. Is there anyone else you prefer to cover before the Red Sox?
Yeah, the other 29 teams.
Starting with the Royals.
So what did I tell you last week on Keeping Score? I think I said to you, Jess, they had just swept Kansas City in Kansas City. I mean, I didn't get excited about it. It was Kansas City, but for the Red Sox, take anything.
Yeah,
any brooms, usually we're on the other side of the brooms.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? You think maybe they could go home and maybe take the momentum and actually build off it. How about win some home games? I mean, they're the worst. So here we are a week later, Jess, 6 games at home, 1 win. 1-5, you got swept by the Twinkies. I mean, I'm just saying, this is terrible. They went 1-5 versus Minnesota this year, and they went 1-5 versus the Astros, who are no longer even relevant anymore. So they went basically 2-10 against those two teams in this, one in the Central, one in the West. But this was terrible. You lose 3 to Minnesota, and everybody said, oh, they were close games. Some of the games were just Slayton gave one up, and that's what's frustrating because now they put up a little offense. They don't get the pitching on the game. Slayton came in and gave up 2 back-to-back 2-run homers, gave the game up. The Sox lose a heartbreaker on Friday night. Saturday, another loss. And then, of course, the Sunday game, you got Chad Tracy in the interview after the game making excuses for some of the plays that they made.
Did the analytics say he already won?
Well, they're trying to say, it's tough to grip the ball. Even in driving to my mother's house, the guys on the radio, Will Fleming, they're saying, they can't grip the ball. Well, it's for both teams. Minnesota's gripping the ball. Okay, they're not throwing it all over Fenway. So I don't understand it. It's wet for both teams. Okay, it was a terrible weather day on Sunday. It was bad.
Yes.
And the Red Sox found a way to lose that game also. I guess they got a runner thrown out at home plate. And then I guess Abreu threw a ball high earlier. So the Red Sox figured they would take a shot to try to score the tying run in the 9th, but was thrown out because they figured you'd have to execute it all with the ball being wet and the ground. The guy put a dot at home plate. Okay. So it's the way the Red Sox season's going. And then of course you got Atlanta coming in. They faced Chris Sale on Thursday. Everyone thought that, you were never in that game. Mark from Providence is telling me, well, we were in that. No, we weren't really in it. It was 2-2 going into the 6th. The bases are loaded, no outs. Okay. Now Whitlock goes on the IL with a knee injury. So he's got knee inflammation. So it's worse before it gets better. So of course, here we go again. It's Greg Weissett. I got a full bar. Mama G's eating her meal. I look up, I'm busy, and I see number 57, and I know the game's over. Just by putting him in before it happens. At least I know before it happens. So I can tell you it's 2-2. Baby Yaz comes up to pinch hit.
Okay.
He's got him 0-2. Now he starts nibbling, walks a run, and it's 3-2. Now you got Ronald Acuna Jr., who's one of the superstars in the game when healthy.
Yep.
Lansdowne Street. Okay. So obviously 3-2, 4, 7-2. They lose the game 10-2. Okay. Just absolute embarrassment that this team is just like, and I'm watching Sale. Sale was off his game. He wasn't on that day, which of course we know.
Did he throw something?
He wouldn't be.
He break some TVs in the dugout.
He wouldn't be doing. By the way, he had a nice compliment for Peyton Tolley, who, came out in the 5th. I believe he kind of ran out of gas, but I think Sale sees a little bit of different guy, different build,
Burly.
But left-handed. I think he sees a future for that kid and says like, this kid's going to be good.
I like him.
He sees the compete in him that he's not what the rest of this team is. I know Durant had a few good games. Move him.
So why aren't they moving
He's got any
him?
value. Well, Breslow's trying to say on another rival station that I'm trying to improve the team. No, you're not. What are you going to do right now? You've got 9 teams ahead of you for the last wild card spot. It's not happening. You're 23-32. It's not happening. This team is brutal.
But honestly, if they win every game for the rest of the season, could it?
It could happen. It could happen. There's like 95 games left. I get it. I get it.
You're saying there's a chance.
Here's the worst. Yeah. Here's the worst stat. I keep coming up with these stats that are just brutal. Okay. The Red Sox in 9 series at Fenway this year. So obviously to win a series, you win 2 out of 3. Yeah. Obviously, if you play if you play well for the listenership out there. Not that I think they're stupid, but it's just a stupid team.
If you have 5 games and you win 3 of them,
I'm saying so they got 1 tie, which means maybe a 4-game series they split it. So that's a wash. They are 1-7-1. So they've only won 1 series at Fenway all year. So you've only taken 2 out of 3 once.
That's
at
terrible.
Fenway. You've lost 7 series.
Against,
I don't even want to know that part. I don't want to know about that team. I don't want to know that team. It's just been bad. And then, of course, I know the optimism. Like, they lose the first game against the Braves. Okay. After Duran and Rafaela hit home runs to start the game off Spencer Strider. They lose game 1 of the series. They come back. Conley early throws a gem in game 2. 7 innings, 7 strikeouts. He was great. So, of course, I know in the post-game show, Tom Caron, he has to do his job to try to keep people watching. So he's like, we get out there tomorrow and, we get a chance to take a series. Because if they win that game, they'd win 2 out of 3. You got no shot, okay? But that's what he has to say.
Right.
He's not pulling the wool over me, okay? 48 years rooting for the Sox.
I should just be betting against the Sox. Like, I feel like this is money in my pocket.
Right, but they're so bad. Like, even the game they won 8-0, the middle game, like, I didn't have it on at work. I was busy, but, like, I don't even want to see it. So I just flip it. I flip it on at 9:30, and it's like 8-0, and I'm shocked that they're winning. I can't see them beating anybody 8-0. I didn't think they even had it in them. But baseball, it usually, some days it's not your day. Braves are not going to win every game. They got 2 out of 3 from us, but this is just a bad baseball team, and I think, like I said, I don't know where it goes from here. I just there's a lot of baseball left, but it's going to be a tough watch. Red Sox are in Cleveland. I think they come back home for Baltimore next week, but Baltimore's starting to get it together. That American League East is going to start leveling off at some point. The Yankees got hot. Judge hit a walk-off on Sunday versus Tampa Bay.
My best friend Liz, who we were just passing in the hall, she was at that game.
Yeah, it was like 0-0 going into the 9th. It's a 2-run homer.
Finally, because the night before it was a fly ball to the outfield, and it was like,
so that would have been so Saturday it rained. I think they got rained out. It was on Friday night. Garrett Cole came back. It was terrific.
He was awesome,
and he had the lead, and Tim Hill blew it from the bullpen. But the Yankees have been hot ever since then. They went to Kansas City. They won on Memorial Day. Bobby Witt Jr. hit a home run that put Kansas City ahead. He's terrific. But
can you guys get Bobby Witt Jr.? Oh.
No, he's too good to play in Boston. Even though he's wasting away in Kansas City, I feel bad for him. The Yankees pulled it out in the 9th, and it was nice. Anthony Volpe got a big 2-run single to win the game for the Yankees. He's just hoping to contribute right now. There's some spots for him where they can use him. Maybe they get Caballero. They can move him over to third when McMahon struggles with the bat. Chisholm's starting to come around now. Garrett Cole in two outings has been absolutely lights out for the Yankees.
That Friday game, I think he had 1 inning. He only pitched like 3 strikes.
Yeah, I know.
3
he
balls.
was terrific. They did an interview with him where he said, the time he had to reflect when he wasn't pitching the year with Tommy John, he's sitting on his couch and he's saying, and here he is, he says this, but he had 10 strikeouts the other night. He goes, I don't need to strike guys out. He goes, I want to be more efficient, more cost efficient, meaning like, what, I'll take a 1-pitch ground ball, and then he still strikes and punches out 10 the other night. Cole's been terrific. I think he's what a boost to the Yankee rotation. And of course, once you get Judge going, and Tampa Bay is going to come back to earth. They got swept in Baltimore during the middle of the week. So now the Orioles are starting to come on. Toronto's just got too many injuries in their rotation. That division's getting kind of wacky now. Boston, I believe, is just going to be comfortably in last. I hate to say it. It's just I don't see them digging out the hole. You can tell me they're 3 or 4 back of the third wild card. There's 9 teams in between them, and that's where it's going to be tough. If Breslow says he wants to improve the team, teams are not going to start trading.
Why would you want to go to that team if they're in last place?
Well, one bat's not going to save the Red Sox right now. You should have done this stuff in the offseason. You wouldn't be chasing it 60 games into the season.
It's almost like they did their homework last minute and they didn't put a full effort in, and now they're getting your test results back. And you're getting.
And you know me, I'm not a Breslow fan, but I've still given him credit for the Crochet deal, who should be back next week. He's throwing live bullpen, so he's getting better. But I mean, it's just, why even rush him back? Your season's lost. Unless he's 100%, I wouldn't even waste him right now because he's part of the build. He's part of what's going to be the next, hopefully at some point, a good Red Sox team.
Well, speaking of people coming back, when's Roman Anthony?
I mean, I see the little brace on his hand. He's got they diagnose it as a ligament sprain in the thumb, or I don't know if it's his index finger. I don't see when you're going to start like revving up again and you're going to face 95 and you're going to swing that bat with authority. I don't see him coming back anytime soon. I think they're fudging that one. I think he's a lot more hurt than they're saying.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, let's
if he does come back as a DH,
he'd probably come back as a DH. And by the way, let's call it what it is. I love when guys get hurt after they were sucking. He sucked. I mean, I think he's still a franchise.
I'm not saying I could throw a better ball from the outfield.
I was big on him, and you were too.
Yes, I like him. He's old school.
He wasn't hitting.
No.
And we know what he wasn't field. He's going to make his bones and his money at the plate. Obviously, it was plate discipline. I thought that he'd be the guy, those 10 pitch at bats, because he could see the ball so well, would be just an inconvenience to a pitching staff. You get that pitch count up there, and that's how you get the team's bullpens. I wasn't seeing it before the injury. So, of course, now Marcelo Meyer moves into play short now with Trevor Story had sports hernia surgery. And, of course, I wish him well, but I don't care if I ever see him again. No, he's out 6 to 10 weeks. Just stay. I'm done. I'm all set. Like, play Meyer at shortstop, even though I don't think he has a major league stick. Let him play the position he was groomed to play from Jump Street. So there's really not much to be excited about with this ball club. It's there's a lot of baseball to be played, and it's a tough time in Boston.
I noticed you're not wearing anything Red Sox, so that says a lot. Is there anything else you want to talk about before birthday?
I was trying to find somebody else that was like as pathetic as the Red Sox. I got to go to the net. First of all, Ohtani got a win and hit a bomb in the same game the other night. So like the numbers
not human.
Yeah, the numbers are down. He's only got 9 jacks this year, but I mean, if he even hits 25, 30, I mean, he's always been in the 40s or 50s.
But you're saying Cy Young anyway, so
right? So if he doesn't get that, he gets that. He's on a mission. His ERA's under 1.
Oh my!
So yeah, he's been crazy. So I found the team that's as bad as the Red Sox. For what they have is they're not a small market team. It's the Mets. They're 23-33, but they're 14 and a half.
And they spend money.
They're 14 and a half out. Yeah, they already said Bichette, that was a bad move. Lindor's hurt. Soto gets pulled every other game for like cramps or whatever. I don't know if it's. No, I'm not going to say it's I'm not going to say it's menstrual, but I don't think he's ever going to. He looks like the kind of guy he's never going to be happy no matter what you're doing. He got his 765,
right? He got
sweet. I told you the Yankees were going to luck out there. They ended up getting the money and signing Fried for $218. They signed Bellinger back this year.
Yeah,
the Yankees ended up being just fine. So I don't think Soto's a guy you want to be down a foxhole with.
We'll see now that New York Mets, it makes a point of. Like the Dodgers have a lot of money and they spend it and they're good. The Mets had a lot of money, they spend it and they're bad. So in the Red Sox in the not middle, but they're in the lower end. I mean, I guess I could see their point saying like, well, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Like if you can't put the right people together, then you're still not going to win.
True. And I'm glad you brought up. I'm driving up to the station talking to Panak on the phone. He goes, if they don't want to spend money and they want to act like the Twins or the Rays, do it right.
Yeah.
Like the Twins and the Rays, like they're not built for October, but they're competitive during the season. Like they're doing something right to put a product out there that's like a pesky team. Like the Rays have no money to spend, but yet they're putting out a team. They just exhaust you. We don't have that. We have no home field advantage. We have nothing. Back to the Mets real quick. They act like they stole Devin Williams from the Yankees, who I told you stunk last year. He couldn't pitch in New York. So why would you go across the other side for a Subway situation and go to the Mets? He gave up a walk-off granny the other night. So at the Mets are in a mess. It's not going to happen. They're already 14 and a half games out. The Phillies have got to the top of that division. The Braves are up like 8.5 games. So the Phillies could get a wild card. So Mattingly could get them into postseason this year.
I'd be happy
that would be a nice story. Schwab has got 21 jacks already. So that team's pretty good. So that's me. That's our baseball for the week. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time.
You're calmer than I anticipated.
I have a job to do here.
All right, we got 12 minutes left. It is Sunday, May 31st, the last day of May. Who was born today?
Broadway Joe. Joe Namath is 83. I don't know who he's kissing on the cheek, but obviously got sober. Panok said he hasn't been in the limelight much lately. We're hoping he's all right physically. He hasn't been around much, but a Hall of Fame quarterback. Let's face it, he's in the Hall of Fame for one thing. He guaranteed a Super Bowl in 1969, and he backed it up. His numbers are 173 touchdowns for his career, but 270 interceptions. That is god awful. So he got in for one thing, and he was the Super Bowl MVP, of course, in '69. And of course, everybody loved him. He's a handsome guy.
That number too.
Handsome guy. The women loved him in New York. I mean, you see a lot of footage with him with the fur coats. The minks. He got it done.
Yep.
Broadway Joe is 83.
Wow.
Former, journeyman, but former Indian center fielder Kenny Lofton is 59 now. Major League outfielder. He played in 11 postseasons. He bounced around after Cleveland, went to a lot of different teams, played for the Yankees in 04.
Yep.
And the Red Sox came back against him, a 6-time All-Star. This guy hit 299 for his career. I remember him just being like a base stealer. He had 622 stolen bases when stolen bases mattered. And by the way, another nugget on him. He was the backup point guard on the 1988 Arizona Wildcats college basketball team, and the starting point guard was Steve Kerr.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Sean Elliott was on that team also. They went to the Final Four, but Lofton was the backup point guard. Didn't have a future in the NBA. He was only about 5'10", 5'11", but a nice little basketball player. And for a while was the all-time steals leader at Arizona until it was broken later. Keeping it on the small side, I've got a legend in Boston eyes, and now the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dave Roberts is 54. Okay, obviously World Series in 2004. He stole the base against the Yankees, and that triggered off the whole comeback in four games. That's all he had to do in Boston for us. And of course, he's got 3 World.
It wasn't like Wade Boggs.
3 World Series for the Dodgers. All right, the fake one in 2020, but he did win the last 2. And Dave Roberts is a legend in Boston for a stolen base. It's unbelievable. He was on the roster for one thing and brought over that year just to do that.
Who was the first baseman that went through his legs?
Buckner?
Oh, yeah, Bill Buckner. That's what I meant. Not Wade Boggs. I didn't know because you only had to do one thing for the Red Sox to like you, and you only had to do one bad thing for the Red Sox to hate you.
All right, shifting over to the entertainment side, the beautiful Brooke Shields is
60.
Yeah, close. 61.
Damn it.
Of course, I say movie, TV actress.
Yesterday obviously, she was 60.
When she was a kid, Blue Lagoon. That was her movie.
Jess loves that movie.
And I equate everything to sports. She was married to former tennis star Andre Agassi at one time.
That was weird.
And she was Noah, which is Mariska Hargitay's son on Law and Order SVU.
Mm-hmm.
She's the grandmother on SVU. No longer now because she did some bad things. She tried to have Noah kidnapped so she could take him from Benson.
There you go. Okay, very nice.
So Brooke Shields is 61. All right. How about this as far as greats? God, he's still going, and God bless him. The great Clint Eastwood is 96.
My God.
Yep. Actor, director, and of course, here I go again. I know all the movies before our time, all the westerns he did. Yeah. Love them.
Yeah.
But the movie I'm going to go, I love True Crime, by the way, from years ago with Isaiah Washington. Guy's on death row. He's a writer.
Yeah.
Dennis Leary's in the movie. Eastwood
he saves him.
Eastwood shacking up with Larry's wife in it. It's a good movie, a real good movie. But I go with Trouble with the Curve. And if you ever remember our show we did on Top 10 Baseball Movies, it was at the bottom of my top 10. But he's a scout for the Braves that can't see really well anymore, and they want to make him retire. But he can hear the click or something when the guy swings to know that the guy's going to be a bust. And it's just crazy. Amy Adams is his daughter in it.
I like her.
And Justin Timberlake's a scout for the Red Sox.
Oh, I remember that. What was the name of it?
Trouble with the Curve.
Throwing curveballs.
I had a pretty good one the last outing. I got to tell you, I did have a good one. And I've got one funny TV actress. Oh, I love her. And of course, you'd have to know Curb Your Enthusiasm. The great Susie Essman is 71.
Oh, she's a hot ticket.
She is funny from Curb Your Enthusiasm. Actually, right now they are binging it on HBO. It's on 207 if you have Cox at home. Okay, so Susie Essman is 71. She's married to Jeff. It's F-Bomb City with her, but she's hilarious. Those are my birthdays for May 31st.
I love that you're like our TV guide.
Well, this show's really transitioning. It's late innings on Keeping Score today and overall.
All right, so you had vacation. We got 7 minutes. So you had vacation, and it was terrible because your face was all jacked wrapped up.
Yeah.
You said in our pregame you had 4 shows that you watched.
I was blessed, and my significant other put me on. She goes,
All right, here we go.
You always like tell me no when I give you. I'm like, what are you talking about? I watched like 4 shows you gave me. I'm not gonna certain shows that you know me. No supernatural. I don't want gimmick shows.
Right.
I don't want like stuff that's fictitious. I want real.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am
right.
gonna go with. Obviously, somehow I found the way because I don't have HBO Max. They were running a marathon on one of the 200s of The Pit.
Oh, okay.
So I caught season 2 of The Pit with Noah Wiley.
Yep.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
So
and then
we're going to get into that one.
under the radar actress in that is Bryan Cranston's daughter is in that.
Oh, wow.
She's excellent. So The Pit, I recommend it.
Okay.
I still got about 4 or 5 episodes left on HBO. I'm going to clean up just HBO right now. Is The Rooster with Steve Carell.
Okay.
Anything with Carell, I'm all over it.
Carell,
Okay.
yep.
Carell.
Yep.
So I'm going to go a Rooster, and then of course I got on Prime, The Better Sister. Now I don't know if I remember. I don't know if I mentioned that on last week's show or the show before, but that's 8 episodes, and of course it's Jennifer Beal and Elizabeth Banks.
Yep.
8 episodes. That is excellent.
That is
staying
good.
on Prime. She gave me another one here I really liked. Was 56 Days.
Okay, yeah, you said that last week, I think.
Yeah, I really liked that. So that was 8 episodes. Also, I like the 8 episodes.
Yeah,
it's
that's
perfect.
just enough.
It's just, but I mean, when I'm on a roll, I just blast. So I give the Sox a chance. They're down 6-2 in the third, and it's binge city right after that. Yeah. I'm going to give you one show on Apple that I really liked, but again, I didn't get closure on this one. That bothers me when you don't get the closure.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to come back with a 3rd season,
I
but if
hope
they
so.
don't, it didn't. Is Surface on Apple.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, like there's husband and wife. She tried to commit suicide. She jumps off. It's in San Francisco. She jumps off the boat or something, but they save her, and we don't know the whole story. Stuff's not coming back to what it is. And then season 2, she goes to London where she came from, and things start to come together. Either way, if they don't do another season, both seasons were very good. I recommend Surface on Apple. And I'm dabbling right now. I'm thinking of a couple of shows. Off Campus, I heard is pretty good.
Yeah, so I heard that too. Like a lot of people watching that. Someone is not into that right now, but I hear that it's good stuff.
Okay, and the other one, Jess, would be, and this one's like, this guy usually plays like 6 sadistic kind of roles, and him. It's Matthew Rise is Widow Bay or Willow Bay.
Yeah.
So
he just freaks me out.
Yeah.
Though. He's excellent, but he
they
freaks
say
me
it's
out.
creepy, but this is considered like a dark comedy or something. So,
Oh, okay.
and it's based in New England somehow. Like there's some New England mentions of it. By the way, back to 56 Days again.
Okay.
There was some real. It's done in Boston,
Mhm.
but they make reference to Rhode Island in it. The kid's talking about because he has a past where he allegedly killed someone back in Rhode Island. They
Mhm.
mentioned Narragansett High School, and he mentions Dell's Lemonade.
Did he mention Johnson High School? Nice job on the yearbooks.
What?
Did you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I saw
That's
something
just-
on
and by the way, they're only off by 1 letter. So yeah, their average
that
is
poor
6.
editor. If that editor's looking to get something like if that's like a young person trying to get a stepping stone, it's over.
But
It's
it has
over.
to go through multiple people. It's not just
Yeah.
like one person's like, oh, this is good, check, and just print it.
Yeah, right.
It's almost like, are you sure this is your final copy? And they're like, yep, print it. Okay,
So
go
out of
ahead.
what I just gave you, basically the Pit's terrific. Surface was really good. 50. They're all good. I mean, like I said, I'm reaching for stuff. I'm kind of in limbo right now because, like I said, the Sox are terrible. All the network shows are done.
Yeah.
Boston Blue did wrap up last week. Loved it. It's coming back for season 2. Love Boston Blue with Donnie Wahlberg. He's absolutely terrific.
Well, at least you have stuff to watch tonight. So you got The Real Housewives. I know you're not watching Euphoria, and good thing you're not, because I'm like, it's the most. At the end of the show, they say if you or someone you know is struggling, text Euphoria to buy. And I'm like, I want to text Euphoria because I wasn't struggling until I watched your friggin' show, because that show is mental.
That's like 3 or 4 seasons though. Like, I mean, I
Yeah,
would do
it's
it.
gonna be-
But you've told me like, and you're not the only one. They're like, everyone
It's
seems
like
to be wishy-washy.
sick. It's sick. But I did start something, and you're going to be very proud of us
Give it to
because
me.
I just hit
I'm
play.
excited. I'm excited.
Your Friends and Neighbors.
Really?
Yes. So we're 4 episodes in. We watched all 4 last night.
All right, so I didn't write it down because I forgot, and I
Yeah.
had so much going on. So that's like
I'm
usually.
still with season 1. yeah.
Usually I just, I get behind the 8 ball and I just go, I'd rather binge, you
Yeah.
know? But this one, I guess on Apple, it runs weekly.
Mhm.
So like right now,
I
I
like
gotta
that.
wait for the episode. So there should be one like dropping, like it dropped Friday.
Okay.
I didn't get to it yet. So, John Hamm, he never fails. Amanda Peach, great.
she is
They're
good.
on season 1. So now,
Yes.
obviously, they're already into season 2.
Yeah, with James Marsden, I think.
James
is added
Marsden,
to-
yeah.
It's a very interesting show. I ended up falling asleep, but I got in the middle of one episode where I think he he runs from a house, and the housekeeper is like teamed up with him now for like picking things. So anyway, but I am very pleasantly surprised, and it's messed up that he got fired. By the way, I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
But,
who was his boss?
I don't know what's his name.
Corbin Burnson.
That's not Corbin
Burnson.
Burnson.
He got old. I mean, he's in his it's Corbin Burnson with the white goatee with
the hot tub
Lauren,
thing.
Yeah, Lauren Orta, Roger Dorn,
oh wow, we're
Roger
really
Dorn
hitting
and
this a lot
Major
today. Yeah, wow.
Yes, you didn't
He's
know that was
such a
Burnson.
jerk,
He was on the show Psych, which I thought was funny. He was James Roday's father in it with Dule Hill. Yeah, yeah, that was friend of David. Ham's good. Ham's good.
No, he gets it done.
Kind of weak though.
By the way, I like Olivia Munn.
Yeah,
she's pretty.
She's nice. She's nice. Yeah. She's in season 2. She keeps going. It's a good show. And then the Asian guy who was his manager, he's good. He's been in some stuff too. He was in Banshee, I think, years ago.
The money that these people have, I couldn't even.
And now he's clipping from their houses and stuff. It's pretty funny how he gets canned.
Good. I know.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
I'm a big Ham fan.
Yeah, no, I mean I love it. So I'm just very happy. I feel like you're proud of us for actually.
I am very happy that you got to
defend
and Jess liked it.
Yes, like I said, she was going to like it last time. Anyway, so this is Keeping Score with Jess and Dean. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we are back on YouTube. Keeping Score with Jess and Dean. We'll be back next week, 9 a.m. on 790 The Score. Have a good weekend.
I'll see you in June.
Yeah.